Hello and welcome to this edition of FYI Weekly, your official source for City of Greensboro news and information. The City of Greensboro is in partnership with One Step Further to facilitate the Cure Violence program. The Cure Violence program offers a different yet effective approach in the prevention of violence by treating violence as a public health crisis and working to uncover the root causes to violence. One Step Further and Gate City Coalition, or GCC, began administering the Cure Violence program in January 2020. Their efforts have been deployed in two target areas, the MLK Corridor and the Smith's Home community. As of October 2020, there have been 0 homicides in these target areas. Also, the total number of aggravated assaults in the target areas is less than 10% of the total captured in other areas of the city. The two most effective methods used by the Cure Violence program is mediation and building relationships with impacted families, inner circles, and victims of people who have been murdered, injured, or assaulted. The goal is to prevent victims and their families from engaging in retaliation. The program has grown and been effective in building relationships with community leaders and building overall trust. Since January, GCC provided more than 2,000 students and 60 families with meals during the pandemic. They have assisted more than 24 clients, referring them to resources ranging from housing to employment. GCC has also developed partnerships with local businesses, nonprofits, and the judicial system. Residents can once again enter the J. Edward Kitchen Operations Center. The customer service area underwent renovations to ensure the public and employees stay safe during COVID-19. Hours of operation are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekdays, and customers are required to wear a face covering inside the building. During construction, payments have been accepted in the main lobby of the Melvin Municipal Office Building on West Washington Street. On Monday, January 4th, this location will return to an in-person only bill payment site. In January, the Kitchen Operations Center will handle all water and sewer service needs. Those having difficulty paying their water or sewer bill are urged to pay what they can afford. Payment plans can be arranged by calling the city's contact center on weekdays from 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. The usual $1 convenience fee for making payments online or by phone has been temporarily waived. Assistance paying utilities, rent, or mortgage is available through funds from the CARES Act, which helps those impacted by COVID-19. For more information, visit the Neighborhood Development Department on the city's website. The City of Greensboro is a smart gigabit community, according to Segra, a fiber infrastructure communications provider based in Charlotte. This designation is in conjunction with US Ignite, a nonprofit organization seeking to accelerate the smart city movement. This partnership will help advance Greensboro's smart city initiatives, which focus on expanding broadband and connectivity, promoting innovation and technology-based entrepreneurship. Jane Nichols, the city's chief information officer, said through this partnership, we will have access to resources enabling the city to accelerate its efforts to expand internet options in underserved areas of the city and shine a spotlight on innovation in Greensboro. The Smart Gigabit initiative is made possible by a 3-year grant from Segra, one of the largest independent fiber networks in the eastern U.S. It marks the first Smart Cities collaboration between US Ignite and Segra. Partner communities leverage broadband to develop innovative new services, drive local job growth, and improve quality of life. Through the US Ignite ecosystem, communities gain access to shared technologies and best practices, as well as new funding and partnership opportunities. In an effort to help each of us improve our quality of life, the city developed a partnership with Cone Health to share a series of brief and informative videos designed to inspire you to make better choices when it comes to healthy living. Let's take a moment to check out today's news for your health.
Over 1 in 3 Americans ages 18 and older have prediabetes. What is it and how can you reduce your risks? Prediabetes is when you have a blood glucose or blood sugar level which is higher than normal but not quite high enough to be diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. You can reduce your risk of prediabetes and prevent it from furthering to type 2 diabetes by several things. One, you can eat a well-balanced diet, which includes fruits, vegetables, calcium-rich foods, whole grains, and protein foods. Also, you could exercise at least 150 minutes a week, which is equivalent to 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. And you can also work with a registered dietitian who will help establish long-lasting healthy habits which are specific for you. Individuals who are at a higher risk of becoming pre-diabetic are those that are ages 45 years or older, who also have a BMI or body mass index of 25 or greater. Also, individuals who are 45 years old or younger who have the BMI of 25 or higher, along with high blood pressure or high cholesterol or a history of type 2 diabetes in their family or have a history of inactivity. So there are certain races and ethnicities who are more at risk: African Americans, Native Americans, Asian Americans, Latino, and Pacific Islanders. There are no clear signs and symptoms of prediabetes, which is why it's important to have routine visits with your primary care physician because you may have it and not know it. When you go to your primary care provider, there are several tests that can be done to diagnose prediabetes. One test is a hemoglobin A1C and having a value between 5.7 and 6.4, or having a fasting blood glucose test done and your value is between 100 and 125 milligrams per deciliter, or having an oral glucose tolerance test done where your 2-hour blood glucose level reads between 140 and 199 milligrams per deciliter. So one thing that comes up a lot with, especially with the exercise, you don't have to do 30 minutes in one lump sum. You can do 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, as long as you're getting that 30 minutes within that 24-hour period. And that can be anything that gets your heart rate pumping. So if it's taking the stairs instead of taking the elevator, you don't have to make a total lifestyle change at one time. You can take small steps by, for instance, if you're skipping meals or if you miss breakfast or miss lunch, try incorporating that meal so that you're getting at least 3 meals a day. Also too, when you go to the shopping center, instead of hunting down that first parking space, you can park farther away, get in some extra steps. It is proven that when you make interventions such as lifestyle change, including changing your eating habits, having a well-balanced diet, increasing your physical activity, you can prolong being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Thank you for joining me. I hope this information has been helpful. To learn more, go to conehealth.com/diabetes. I am Donetta Floyd.
Code compliance officers are making the rounds again, and construction work continues at Country Park near the Greensboro Science Center. We'll have those stories and more news coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. The City of Greensboro has closed the connector road between Country Park and the Guilford Courthouse National Military Park. The road will not be accessible to cyclists and pedestrians through the end of December. This road closure will allow construction vehicles to enter and exit the area while ensuring safety to park patrons. This impacts the current and future stages of the Greensboro Science Center renovation project. Nathaniel Green Drive from Orman Road into Country Park continues to be closed to all traffic, including pedestrians. In order to travel between the two parks, pedestrians and cyclists must use the Military Park's Winston Monument Trail near the Veterans Memorial at Country Park. The Code Compliance Division has reinstated the assessment and accrual of civil penalties and reinspection fees. This is associated with active residential and non-residential code cases. These charges had been suspended at the beginning of April as a way to prevent additional hardships caused by COVID-19. City Code Compliance inspectors have continued to conduct required inspections to make sure conditions of structures are safe while maintaining 6 feet of social distancing. Property owners and contractors also have continued to make repairs and perform maintenance on structures since the state declared these to be essential functions. For more information about the penalties and fees, contact Code Compliance in the Neighborhood Development Department at 336-373-2111. The Water Resources Department is almost done temporarily switching the western part of the city from chloramines, which is the standard disinfectant in drinking water, to chlorine. This procedure is used to maintain the city's water quality. The disinfectant is being added near the Piedmont Triad International Airport in the Regional Road and Swing Road area, extending west to the county line at Colfax. During this time, residents may notice temporary taste or odor differences in the water. This is a normal part of the transition, which does not adversely impact the water quality. Water with chlorine or chloramine is safe for drinking, cooking, and other general uses. Specialized industries such as medical facilities offering kidney dialysis, fish tank and pond owners, and some businesses that use water in their production process should take precautions and may require adjustments to their current filtration and treatment systems. These customers are notified directly. This procedure is similar to the routine maintenance performed with other water utilities and only involves one pressure zone in Greensboro. For more information, either visit the city's website or call the Environmental Protection Agency toll-free at 800-426-4791. The International Civil Rights Center and Museum switched to a virtual platform in response to the COVID shutdown. The same will be the case for the museum's signature fundraising event. Coming up after the break, find out how you can support this history haven among our downtown treasures. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. The thousands of people who took to the streets in Greensboro and other cities across the country placed the spotlight on racial equity and social justice. As a result, more people expressed an interest in the International Civil Rights Center and Museum. As with any nonprofit, it requires donations to keep the doors open. Joining me now to tell us about the plans for the museum's signature fundraising gala is John Swain. He is the CEO of the museum. John, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Carla.
Thank you for joining me. So tell us about the newfound interest people have had in the museum following the tragic death of George Floyd and the movement that was sparked from that.
Actually, this interest came at the wrong time because of the coronavirus. Lots of people have been calling and asking what can they do, what kind of books can they read. And we've posted some of those on our website. We have recorded some videos about peaceful protesting in 2020 in the wake of the killing of George Floyd. But there has been an outpouring of interest in learning about social justice and how to confront inequality and racial inequality in our country.
It's wonderful that we have the museum as that
Yes.
additional layer. Of course, people are going to go to the library, but there's something different when you get to experience what you offer through the Civil Rights Museum. And as you mentioned, COVID-19 did
Yes.
force a lot of facilities to either scale back or shut down operations. How are you functioning virtually?
Well, we took this opportunity to re-envision ourselves. Something that I've been wanting to do for a number of years has been reach classrooms across the country. We have had teachers to visit from everywhere, and when they would finish the tour, they would often say, you hear that same comment over and over, I wish I could bring all of my students here. So we started doing a lot of work, and we recorded all of our tour guides. We put those on the internet so people can watch the presentation on their own, at home, at their convenience. And we left it at a nominal fee. And also, we've set up a virtual tour so people can come inside of the building. We still have our legacy tours, and we had to increase the price on those, but we've cut the group size. We used to take 25 people through in a group, and we've now reduced that to 12 people per group so that we have enough space to really provide good tours.
Wonderful. Well, I'm glad that you're back open, even though you've had to scale back the number of people per tour. It's really important for individuals to take that time out and have that experience. Now, how will you host your annual fundraising gala in 2021 due to the gathering restrictions?
Absolutely. That has presented some challenges itself. So this year on January 30th, starting at 7 o'clock, we will kick that gala off on Zoom. And sponsorship opportunities still exist now so that companies can now sponsor and pass a link to their employees. We've cut the time down to about an hour. It might go an hour and 15 minutes or so, but that's pretty sufficient for an event like this. And it's going to be
fast-paced,
but a high-quality event.
Wonderful. I'm looking forward to it. Now, each year for the gala, you have some extraordinary individuals, civil rights allies who you honor. Who will be on that list of honorees?
Well, fortunately, this year we're going to have Representative Clyburn. He is the majority whip in the House of Representatives, and he's done so much work on the front of social justice and historic preservation in South Carolina. Our next is going to be Brian Stevenson. He will receive our Unsung Hero. Many people know him because of Just Mercy and the movie and the Equal Justice Center. He is a justice in Alabama, and he has argued cases before the U.S. Supreme Court that have impacted the lives of people who were wrongly convicted, over 135 people on death row.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to him. Some of the local folks, Reverend Julia Peoples, Congregational Church, we're going to be honoring her with the Community Service Award. Ingrid Wynn Catlin is going to be our sit-in participant. She lives in Philadelphia, and this has provided us an opportunity to connect with Comcast. They're working with us to do her recording and acceptance and everything. And another local person that we're going to be honoring is Clarence T.C. Muhammad. He is a local activist, and I just love the spirit of that man. He really gets people going, and he's a behind-the-scenes kind of person, but he packs a powerful punch.
And it's nice to recognize the younger, next up-and-coming generation.
You must. So.
And this year's theme is Reignite the Movement. So.
Reignite, and he will be our torch bearer, so we're looking forward to him.
Fabulous. Now, you mentioned earlier how there are sponsorship opportunities available. We certainly have a lot of corporations here, a lot of businesses, and just individuals individually wanting to contribute. How can they be a sponsor or attend the virtual gala?
Absolutely. This year, with it being a virtual event, there are more opportunities for the corporations to get involved and offer their employees something to do. There are sponsorship opportunities. Folks can go to our website at www.sitinmovement.org and pull down a package, fill it out, send it in, and we will send to them the link and they can pass it out to their employees. For folks who are not able to attend, we will make provisions for them to watch the event in the following week free of charge, but this is a fundraiser and a way that we can support the museum.
Okay, and we will rebroadcast that here on GTN.
Well, thank you.
Yes,
thank you very
absolutely.
much.
Well, John, we could talk to you all day. It's always such a pleasure to have you. Thank you for telling us about the gala, how people can be added to the sponsor list, and I'm glad the museum is still open.
It's going to be okay.
Yes.
We have some really good community partners. So
fabulous. Well, do come back and let us know about other programs that you are hosting throughout the year.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay tuned for some useful information about Greensboro as we tell you something about the city. That's coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. One way to stay informed about decisions that impact our city is by attending or tuning in to City Council meetings at 5:30 p.m. on the first and third Tuesday of the month. The fourth Tuesday is reserved for a meeting as needed. Due to COVID-19, the City Council is meeting virtually. The Greensboro City Council meetings are broadcast right here on GTN. The meetings are also streamed live on the city's website and on Roku. City Council meetings usually take place on Level 2 of the Melvin Municipal Office Building located at 300 West Washington Street. To review the council meeting schedule and agendas, please visit the city's website. Here's an opportunity to learn a little something about the city. The request for qualifications or RFQ process is still open to developers, investors, builders, and organizations with proven experience in demolishing blighted residential properties. If approved, interested parties will be appointed as a receiver in the city's vacant housing receivership pilot program. The city aims to bring abandoned, dilapidated, and deteriorating properties up to minimum housing standards more quickly. The goal is for the houses to be returned to the community as safe, healthy, and affordable housing options for future occupants. Qualified people and groups willing to be appointed by a Guilford County Superior Court judge as an independent authority to carry out needed repairs or demolition on Greensboro properties are encouraged to apply by 3 p.m. on Wednesday, December 2nd. Other communities relying on receivers can prevent neighborhood deterioration resulting from the condition of these properties, increase available and affordable housing, and create jobs in the construction and property management industries. To learn more about the pilot program and the next steps of the initiative, visit the city's website. Coming up after the break, we'll showcase our department spotlight, but first we have an important message about COVID-19.
Remember the 3 W's. Wear a cloth face mask covering, wait 6 feet from others, and wash your hands often. By working together, we can adjust to this new normal and continue to save lives.
Welcome back. The City of Greensboro has more than 20 departments and several divisions committed to serving you, our residents and visitors. Let's go behind the scenes in our department spotlight. The Communications and Marketing Department encourages residents to bookmark the winter closings pages on the city's website. This is the best way to stay up to date on changes to city government services and hours of operation during inclement weather. Simply visit greensboro-nc.gov/winter closings on the city's website. The winter closings page features a link to an interactive map that shows where snowplows are operating throughout Greensboro. There are also links to the city's official Facebook and Twitter pages. The page also includes the list of local television stations that report city government closings and delayed openings. Now is the ideal time to visit the city's website and bookmark the winter closings page in advance of any winter weather events. Straight ahead on the other side of the break is this week's Way to Go GSO shout out. Stay with us. As we draw to a close, we always want to end on a positive note with our Way to Go GSO shout out. This week's shout out goes to Keeley Park staff for hosting the first Frost Toss Winter Cornhole Tournament. The event will take place on Saturday, December 5th from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Registration is $10 for two-person teams, and online registration is required. Prizes will be awarded for first and second place. There is a 20-team cap for this single elimination tournament. Participants will adhere to COVID-19 safety guidelines. For more information, contact Parks and Recreation Facilities Coordinator Kristen Herndon at 336-338-2062. Please remember, as more places continue to open, wear your face covering, wait 6 feet apart, and wash your hands often. That concludes this edition of FYI Weekly, but you can easily stay connected to the latest city news by linking to us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Alexa users can subscribe to our 5-minute flash briefings, which airs on 90.1 FM. Be sure to download our weekly podcast, Talk City Greensboro, and now GTN is streaming on Roku. For all of us here at the City of Greensboro, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.